Let's go on to the next macronutrient, which is protein. A lot of people think that protein is very bad for your kidneys or very bad for your liver, and generally speaking, it's not such a good idea to eat too much of it. I agree with that affirmation, provided that the people that eat more protein do not exercise too much and they don't have a too active lifestyle. However, if you do have a natural lifestyle in which you move as often as possible, and if you eat the right foods, you won't get kidney damage or any other disease from eating too much protein, so to speak. I don't know what that means, too much protein. Again, it's very specific to every individual, but generally speaking, it's very, very hard to eat too much protein. Believe me, I tried. Okay. When it comes to diabetes, protein is tricky because some people get higher blood sugar levels from eating it, especially if they eat it in higher quantities or they have a too advanced condition and their metabolism is absolutely shot, while others enjoy lower blood sugar levels if they eat enough protein. Okay, so the conclusion here is that you need to test it on yourself. You need to test the quantity of protein, and you need to see how this affects your blood sugar levels. Protein can also be inflammatory, and that's why I suggest again to test the effects on your body. Test also different foods, because different foods have different effects on the body. Let's say that maybe you tolerate eggs better than beef, for example. Okay, so you need to test this, and you need to test the foods, the quantity of those foods, and to see whether protein has a beneficial effect on your blood sugar or not. Contrary to what you might think that, okay, the only food that has enough protein in it is meat. Well, it is true to a certain extent. However, meat is optional because you can get a lot of protein from other foods, especially dairy, eggs, even vegetable sources like nuts, seeds, spirulina, avocados, and much more. Okay, so you can get plenty of protein from other foods also if you want to. If not, you can stick mainly to meat. I know people who reverse their diabetes and they eat meat like there's no tomorrow, so that's not a problem necessarily. The best protein foods are eggs, beef, fish, seafood, and broth soup. And actually, broth soup is the best nourishing source for protein. If you don't know what broth soup is, you might want to think about chicken soup, but it's not a traditional chicken soup. It's like when you boil the bones and the cartilages of chicken, okay, and the resulting soup, it's full of fat and protein and cartilages and stuff like that. If you remember what you ate when you lived with your grandmother or something like that, I'm sure she made a lot of this. I'm sure she gave it to you when you were sick. It's considered popular in traditional cultures a very, very healing food, and for good reasons. So broth soup is absolutely amazing. It's also very healing for the digestive system. It helps improve your blood sugar management and so on. Okay, so by far broth soup is the best source for protein because it contains glycine also, but the other sources of protein foods are great as well. Other great sources of protein include milk. However, again, I have to warn you about milk because many people are allergic to cow's milk, and that's why I always suggest eating goat milk or other goat dairy products. You also have to be very, very careful from the source that you're buying that milk or other dairy products. Generally speaking, it's a very touchy subject. Some people tolerate dairy, some people don't tolerate it at all because they have a faulty digestion. Again, you might want to exercise caution when it comes to dairy and when it comes to milk, and test it on your own body. Other great sources of protein include chia seeds, which also have many other nutrients, and hemp seeds. To make sure you eat protein safely, you need to implement a couple of strategies so that you lower the chances that it will raise your blood sugar levels. Okay, so protein is best eaten with a big side salad, a lot of vegetables, anything you love as a vegetable, eat it besides your meat or besides your eggs or your fish or whatever you're eating. Okay, fats are also a great companion because again they slow down the blood sugar, the sugar absorption, and not only protein absorption as well. For example, olive oil drizzled on your salad, coconut oil, which you can use to fry your source of protein like meat or eggs. Butter as well is fantastic to use for frying, or even better yet, put it besides the meat. I always eat it like this, and it's absolutely delicious as a combination, like the hot meat and the cold butter. It's fantastic. I really recommend it. And for better results, I mean, if you really want to stay safe and if you really want to exercise the safest option, eat lower quantities of protein, which means that you can eat only a handful of steak or only 3 eggs per meal, something like that, while eating more fat and vegetables. So you can increase the size of the salad and you can increase the quantity of fat that you're eating. That way you'll feel very full and satisfied, but also you drastically reduce the chances that you'll raise your blood sugar or that you'll ingest more protein if you still have that fear. Okay, so this is the very short summary on how to eat protein safely and role protein plays in your diet. And in the next lesson we're going to tackle carbohydrates.